Could it be an early Super Bowl preview? It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the two teams with home field advantage if the season were to end today, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around...
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way, lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Still 3rd down.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie. It's Phillip Lindsay. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they work this out past the 25. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's caught, it's Miller. And some space here. Say goodbye to Braxton Miller. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
The previous play is under review.
Wentz's pass complete to Braxton Miller.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the...
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Quadri Olison with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And here's the offense now. Charles, who's the guy you chose to highlight?
The tone setter, the guy in the middle, Alex Mack. His return, never good for the opposition.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Let's get that ball, Let's get that ball right here.
Now it's Wilson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, let's go. Hey, tight.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he finds McDonald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
A first down carry for Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
6-6, pull it high.
Throwing on first is Wentz. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Waiting. I'm coming after you. Empty.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Reynolds. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Gets this one out in a hurry to Latimer. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back.
Check, 59. Here we go. Tighten up.
On 3rd down, Wilson goes underneath for Henry. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short, and that leads to a 4th down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeremiah Tauchu able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he gets it complete to Latimer. And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's complete to the tight end, Broniker. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Draw play. This is Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He completes it to Henry. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit? And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
Here we go. Waiting. Check in. Hey, watch the slip.
Now Wentz to try again after the pick six. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Ioannidis in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Wentz now on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you've got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, though, give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
Now Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee They told him, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be...
Proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
You don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. He'll hit Jackson complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 30 big ones. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Stop your whining.
On first down, Wentz. That's into the hands of Reynolds. He'll have a first down inside the 10. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Quadri Olison with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after him early and try and create a big...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, they brought the lead into this third quarter, and now they're really stepping up, setting a tone here defensively.
They came right out roaring because you had to know that in the locker room, they talked about setting that tone that you just described, continuing the dominance that they exhibited in the first half.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. To throw on third down, Wilson. And he's got a moonwalk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Now Wilson on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt, but it'll be second down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Wentz. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Avery Williamson, the Jets' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. And they'll try the jet sweep here. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it. Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing it.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On second down, a run with Lindsey. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Wentz now to throw. That is caught. It's Perriman. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 32-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They fake the give. Now Wentz. His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're going. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it two ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people as it takes to slowing him down running the football. Even if they want to hit me over the top on play action, I just don't let him beat me that way anymore. And if I'm him, I'm in the huddle calling the plays myself. I don't care what play call comes in. I tell my quarterback, guess what? You're handing it to me again.
And if I'm the quarterback, I'm saying, okay, that sounds good, right?
Smart quarterback.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson, and caught by Henry. He'll have a first down past the 40, as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 17. Now Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Brandon LaFell. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson, but it's brought in by Washington. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. That's complete to Jake Butt. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 25-yard line.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Grady Jarrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Back to throw.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
They'll run for it with Henry. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Touch 50, touch 50. Start.
Derrick Henry. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
After the penalty, it's Henry. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta.
Let's go, Bucks.
Carson Wentz in the offense. Down 31-28. A little under 40 seconds to go. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And all the way down to the 26. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 54 yards.
Let's go, D. Big series right here.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to potentially send us to overtime. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
This one taken just inside the 10.
play to win. Let's
4
go.
quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Atlanta, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, this was basically just an exhibition game for them.